Disinherited!
So, welcome back, I think. I'm not sure how we're going to be editing this and cutting it up, but we just took a break there, so we're gonna continue right away.
And just so you know, the voices are probably going to change
We're
every
not-
time we do
We're
a
not
recording.
professional voice actors or anything, or actors for that matter. We'll do our best. I think, mostly importantly, is to have fun. You can do your
My You Bubba impression.
no, what was that? For Lucifer? The steak? That one voice, I was like, that isn't how I imagined it.
Ah, true, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it however you like, however you want to do it. Even if I make fun of you, which I probably will.
Yeah, sure.
No, just do what you feel, what you want to do. I don't have a range, like I said, a very good range for voices, but try.
I really like the voices you're doing.
No, you like the characters I'm doing.
The voices you're doing for the characters, I think you're doing a great job.
Kenzo, man, he's fun, but he does hurt.
Alright, shall we begin? So, we had a flashback for Ava-san, who when I was doing her, I was thinking it was Natsuhi.
Yeah.
But it was actually Ava, so I was like, oh, yes. Yeah. I've gotten them mixed up. So Natsuhi
you were just imagining Kraus arguing with his future wife.
Yeah. Well, he pretty much has the same stance to her as he does to his sister, so I guess...
Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so this will probably be young Ava again.
Okay. Did I take the wrong path? Just like Father and Nissan said?
Just also quickly, we are still working with the audio. We're not sure how it's going to sound properly. This is like right after the first take, so we haven't even edited anything. So hopefully it's not bad, but yeah, just bear with us.
True, I never studied how to be a lady. Everything I've learned was done in the hopes that I could help Father someday. But is that really true? Haven't I always been trying to compete with Nissan, with whom I've had a bad relationship since I was a young girl, because I wanted to steal his position as successor and show him a thing or two? Every chance he gets, Nissan tells me that men should be manly and women should be womanly. I've been tormented by this unfair discrimination just because of my gender, something people are born with and can't do anything about. I resisted, endeavouring to this very day to study and prove that I'm not inferior, despite being a woman. But doesn't that mean my love of learning comes entirely from a stupid complex I've got against Nissan?
Nissan.
Father wanted me to become a lady with whom he could go out in public and not be embarrassed. Did I betray his hopes, earning good grades and threatening Nissan just to satisfy a childhood resentment? Oh, she's so cute! I like cute Ava-san. Ah.
Do you want to see the new images?
That's not it. Yeah, wait. Yeah, no, let's have a look at the new ones.
Yeah, that's not bad. Sticking with these for sure.
She looks so much sweeter than her snarky adult version.
She's still pretty snarky.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Do
But
we see young Kraus as well then?
No.
No.
I only give love to the female characters in this.
True. Alright.
No, she's more innocent, but she is still like pretty snarky, I guess. Let me turn the volume down a bit.
That's not it. You swore to me saying, I will become the successor to the Ushiromiya family. You, the one whispering to me, was the me of my years as a young girl, born inside my heart on the day I made that oath. That's right. She was my only ally, and she's so cute. When things got difficult, when I felt like I was about to get crushed by it all, she would always quietly appear and support me. When I ran into roadblocks and despaired, she would always appear and support me. When I grew up and the memories of my childhood years faded, I also started to forget my conversations with her. I, Ushirimiya Eva, will definitely become the head of the Ushirimiya family, and I'll triumph over that irritating, arrogant Kraus. On that day, we promised to do our best together to achieve that. That's right, we promised. On that day, I promised that I would become the successor to the Ushirimiya headship. On that day, when I had been overcome with sadness, wondering why I was even alive, you appeared from inside me and lent me your strength. Father didn't accept me. I wanted to teach Nissan a lesson. I believed that I was doing this would let me say goodbye to the wretched creature I once was. For a time I truly believed that my life had no purpose other than to be looked down upon by Nissan. It's painful just remembering those days. They're a wound, a crack inside my heart. I feel my heart crack. She taught me how to sew up that wound. I turned my anger into effort and improved myself, trying to become a person more worthy of the headship than Kraus was, trying to triumph over him by making Father accept me. It was my perfect revenge. I was vaguely aware that a woman couldn't possibly become the family head, but I thought that maybe if I could prove myself valuable enough to overturn that premise, then surely even Father would settle me to be his successor. Settle. Same thing. If that happened, then I'd be able to have the greatest and most perfect revenge against Nissan, who always acted like his succession to the headship was completely inevitable. That's right. If we can manage that, the wounds in our heart will be healed. We promised each other to do our best until that day comes. And now you're saying you're going to break that promise? Scum! Coward! If only you'd just give up and die. Even though she looked like me as a kid, she was still another me. Her tongue was sharp because it was mine. It makes me pretty mad hearing that, even from myself. You have no right to speak of me like that. Then let's use that anger to fuel our learning. Changing anger into power is my magic. I've saved you from a bunch of tight spots with that power, letting you succeed when you shouldn't have. As long as you have my magic, there's nothing you can't do. That's right. Anger has always been my driving force. I wonder when it was I forgot that. If you can remember me again, that magic will become ours once more. Come on, let's turn that anger into power and study even harder, okay? I know we've still got a lot to learn. Let's go to college, study more and more, get excellent grades, and drive Kraus into a corner. That guy acts like we're nothing, but I'm sure he feels pretty well cornered in the inside. If only he'd just learn his place and die. If he did, we could become the head. Rudolph won't take the job. That kid can't go against us. Stop that. No matter how much more I study, Father still won't accept me. Why not? Father told me to be womanly. Because I'm a woman, no matter how hard I tried, Father wouldn't have passed the headship on to me, even if I had been born before Nissan. No matter how much effort I put in, I can't become anything more than a woman. I won't be acknowledged. Nissan doesn't try at all, but I can't surpass him. He'll look down on me forever. Father and Kraus are the worst kind of male supremacists. If only they'd just die. She cursed them for my sake. Words I couldn't say so easily, she said for me, even though I understand that she's just another part of myself inside me. I feel like she's the only ally I have who can sympathize with me. However, while sympathy might do a lot to calm my heart, it won't do anything to improve my current situation. In the end, she can only console me for however long it takes me to be dejected by reality before I finally accept it. Thank you. You've done enough. Now that it's come to this, I'll become such a good lady that it'll shock even father. I'll find an excellent man that Nissan can't even compare to. You can't do that! She rejected my timid thoughts. I understand. Because she is me, I understand. All father said was that he won't let a woman succeed the headship now. But even that's just a rule father made up. Since he made it, he can get rid of it. Human feelings can change far more often than the number of sand grains on a beach. Kraus is such a stupid man that father's eventually going to realize it, even if we don't prove it for him. When that happens, the wall that separates man from woman will be demolished by father himself, who set it up in the first place. That day will surely come. How can you be so sure? Because that's my magic. If you just believe, this magic will surely summon a miracle. The basis of my magic is nothing more than your believing heart. If I use this magic, then surely I'll never have to doubt until the day I die that I'll eventually become the head. But I don't know if that's the right thing for Ushiromiya Eva. Maybe I should aim to become the kind of lady father wants. Someone who can proudly participate in high society. And if I'm reborn, maybe father will change his opinion of me. Maybe I can find my own lifestyle, just as Nissan found his. And anyway, I can't imagine my stubborn father choosing a woman like me as the head, especially if it means skipping over Kraus. You don't believe? I was just thinking. Maybe I can't succeed the headship, but as a woman, I can have a child. And Nissan still isn't engaged. If Nissan isn't able to father a child, and I gave birth to one, then wouldn't that make my child the next head after Nissan? In other words, wouldn't that mean the same thing as stealing the headship from Nissan? Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious, true. It'll be very sad to abandon the resolve I've had since childhood. It pains my heart to betray you, my younger self. But this is my most realistic option. Are you throwing away your dreams? And me as well? I'm not throwing anything away. I'm an adult, and the day has come for me to part ways with you. That's right, Ava's already become an adult. She's even forgotten how to use magic. And now she's the mother of a single child. She forgot all about how magic can grant one's own dreams. And now she's forcing those dreams onto her son. Even though father and Kraus ruined your life, you're trying to push your dreams onto your son, ruining his life. Is this what you call being an adult? George is a son I'm proud of, one who won't embarrass himself no matter where he goes. The dream I wasn't granted might come true for George. Jessica's a delinquent in both her grades and her behaviour. And she's a woman. If only Jessica would step down, George would become the heir. Even saying it was painful. Am I just forcing my own regrets onto George?
Yes.
It's not like I have any right to look on Jessica with scorn. Wasn't I just horrible for hitting her with the same words that had caused me so much suffering? I understand. The desire to triumph over my brother is part of my own personal revenge. I can't use George for that. So I'll take revenge myself. I have a plan to cheat Nissan out of some of his money with Rudolph and Rosa as my allies. I'll surely be able to get back at him. In any case, I'm sure that Nissan is embezzling Father's assets. What a boring plan. Why don't you just give up on that and cry yourself to sleep? We will become the Ushiromiya family head. Don't mistake what your dream is. And believe me when I say it, it'll definitely come true. Believe in my magic. If I believe, I wonder if any power will dwell in that magic. It will. My magic can grant any wish with certainty. I'll believe. So create a miracle with that magic. If you don't, the hole in my heart will never heal. Okay, then listen well. Listen to my magic words, and understand. If we can solve the riddle, we can become the Ushiromiya family head. So lend me your ears and listen carefully. Behold, the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. Just realised I don't have my headphones.
You missed the nice music. Oh.
I was so focused. Hang on.
Oh, so sad.
I was like, what's going on?
Pretty sure that was a new track too. Who was doing this again?
Oh, I forgot. Was it
I
me?
think you
I
were,
think I did, yeah.
You decided to do it.
Okay. Over Nissan. Nissan.
Woman.
It looks like we're about to arrive.
When Kirie shook her... No, this is still... Oh, no, it is. Okay. When Kirie shook her shoulders, Ava jumped and awoke from her doze.
Ugh, I'm sorry. I was half asleep. Sorry to scare you.
Aunt Ava, you were out cold. Did you get up early this morning?
Maybe. I let you all see something embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Well, I'd say it's pretty impressive you were relaxed enough to sleep. Battler kept yelling, "We're gonna fall! We're gonna drown! Can't get bored with this guy around." Shut up! All humans have at least one thing they're weak against. Battler and Jessica came in, messing around. Rudolph also made a face, as if asking, "Are you okay?" Get a hold of yourself. When you see Dad and the rest of all that sleepiness will go right out the window. Let's give it our best, okay?
That's right. We have to keep it together, especially this year.
That's it. Let's all tighten our assholes and go. Rudolph said these strict words in a small voice that only Eva could hear. Failure would not be tolerated in this year's family conference. All of their companies were hanging in the balance. Even Rudolph's face looked a little tense. Ava's expression probably looked tense as well. "Mom, I have our luggage. Let's go up on the deck."
Thank you. You really are considerate, George.
Why are you thanking me so suddenly? It's not like you, Mother. Ava, George, we're there. Grab our luggage.
Ooh. We're there, we're there.
I think I was doing Rosa.
Yeah.
Hey, Maria, stop running or you'll trip. It seemed Maria was already getting excited.
Mama!
She ran circles around Hideyoshi, escaping from Rosa, who was trying to catch her. I know that feeling now. What is it, Mother? Do you feel sick? George,
Take our luggage and go on ahead. Your mother's probably feeling anemic, so I'll lend her a hand.
Really? Okay, I'll head out first. Something odd in Ava's expression told Hideyoshi that it hadn't been a pleasant awakening, so he made George go on ahead. Rudolph's family and Rosa's family also went up onto the deck, leaving only Ava and Hideyoshi inside the boat. Ava had a vague expression on her face, as though she still hadn't been able to escape from her daydream.
What's wrong? Why the meek face?
I wonder if I'm using George as a tool for my own revenge. I wonder if my childish hostility towards Nissan has caused me to treat that child's life like a toy. Oh, what have I done? What have I...
That isn't true. George is a wonderful son, and he'll always perform admirably, wherever he goes. Ava. Oh my goodness. That's right. Ava, even if you let your own hopes get in the way a bit, everything's turning out okay in the end, hasn't it? You haven't done anything wrong. In fact, George is grateful for the strict discipline you gave him, right?
Really? Hey, really? George doesn't think I'm a terrible mother, does he? Does he?
He's never said anything like that, not even once. You're just worrying too much.
Your favorite.
Yes, Kurosawa! Hideyoshi-sama, everyone has left the boat. Oh, did you lose something? Do you need a hand?
Kumasawa had come to check on them when they hadn't gone up onto the deck. Hideyoshi hid Ava behind his back so that her expression wouldn't be seen.
Yeah, sorry. My necktie pin just got a bit crooked. We're fine and we'll be out in a sec. Wait outside for us.
Is that so? Then I will wait outside.
Even though she didn't really understand, Kumasawa realized that something had come up, and disappeared so that she didn't trouble them further. If they stayed here any longer, they would probably make everyone else worry too.
It's about time to go. We'll make George and the rest worry.
George really doesn't despise me?
Yeah, nothing of the sort. In fact, he's very grateful. Did you have a nightmare? Again?
Yes.
Hideyoshi knew that Ava was often tormented by nightmares, and they always grew more marked on the days leading up to the family conference. Hideyoshi knew that Ava's relationship with Kraus was still full of antagonism to the point of being traumatic, and that she still couldn't let go of the feelings she'd had as a child.
That was a dream. I'm with you now. If I grasp your hand like this, that dream will go away. Right? Look, I'm holding tight.
That hurt. Thank you. I'm fine now. Let's get off the boat.
Yeah. Let's get off the boat. Everyone's waiting for us.
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
I'm sorry that I yelled at you about the smoke from your cigarettes just now.
Come on. You normally wouldn't apologize for that sort of thing. You're all frail after having that dream. Don't worry about it. I was wrong for not realizing that smoke was affecting you.
Have you started to hate me?
No way, no way. If I hated you after something like that, we wouldn't have lasted 3 days. Come on, stand up, stand up. Let's get off the boat.
Goodness, what does that say about their marriage?
Hideyoshi-sama, Ava-sama, is everything alright? Are you not feeling well? This time it was Goda. It looked like they'd kept everyone waiting for too long after all. Even Ava had to stand up without grumbling now. She had to stop forcing her bad mood onto her husband and causing him any more trouble. because that wasn't something a good wife would do. Is everything okay? If it's a matter of concerning your health, shall I call Dr. Nanja?
Thanks, but I'm just feeling a little anemic. I'm fine now.
It's a woman's disease. Don't worry about it. Wahahaha.
Come on. Don't say stuff like that in front of people. It's embarrassing.
Oh, sorry.
Ava elbowed Hideyoshi in the gut. By that time, her normal expression had returned, which allowed Hideyoshi to relax a little. His voice is actually so much harder than Kinzo's. Oh my goodness. It's like I'm actually smoking. The bright sunlight outside almost made her dizzy. A small plank for getting off the boat was lowered, and Godo was waiting there, smiling and ready to lend them a hand. Please, Eva-sama. Your hand.
Thank you.
Welcome to Rakenjima. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Huh?
When she left the boat, it seemed to Ava as though she'd heard the voice of her young self. No, it hadn't seemed that way. Someone had told her, welcome back. After becoming a shameless adult, the voice of her young self was distant.
What am I living for? What can I do to release myself from this obsession?
Hideyoshi heard her talking to herself. When Hideyoshi held on tightly to Ava's shoulders, his firmness alone told her that there was no need to say any more. Maybe it was because the typhoon was getting closer. The lively cries of the seagulls which usually greeted them when they arrived couldn't be heard at all.
Ooh, is that foreshadowing?
Well, I assume that because of the typhoon, the seagulls would have gotten the heck out of there.
True. Wait, it's when the seagulls cry that everything is bad? Or is it when the seagulls cry is that everything is good?
It's like just the aftermath, whether it's good or bad. That's when the seagulls return to the island, essentially, once the storm's passed. So no matter the outcome, the seagulls will come back. I don't remember it panning like that. What? You mean 6 years ago? I mean, I was still in elementary school back then, right? It's pretty unfair to expect me to remember everything, don't you think? True. Especially because we were so young. We've grown a lot in these 6 years. If I hadn't been introduced, I might not even have remembered you. Oh my goodness, I'm playing old. Really? I figured he was Battler right away. And when he opened his mouth, I was sure.
Ooh. I just met him for the first time. Didn't know him 6 years ago. That's right. Maria-sama was only 3 years old then.
Well, the same goes for me. I only knew Maria when she was 3 years old, and since she's grown so big, of course I wouldn't recognize her. After lunch, we had all gone out to the beach to walk around, talk, and take it easy. Our parents were apparently having a suspicious, complicated discussion, so we ended up leaving them behind. Well, just as I guessed from the start, the conversation focused on me, since I'd been away for 6 years. Still, you've really gotten tall. I wouldn't call myself short, but your height really surprised me.
That's right. I remember well what Battler Summer was like 6 years ago, but I was surprised even so.
Yeah, seriously. I can hardly believe this. The same Battler-kun we knew back then. Battler-kun, I added that. I'm surprised how much everyone remembers about it. My memory's all hazy. Yeah, I'll bet. I don't know how I'm going to do Jessica's. Raise the pitch, maybe? I don't know if I can. Looks like it's taking you a while to remember us. You know, that hurts a bit. Come on, this was 6 years ago, right? I'm the one who has it bad, being forced to remember.
Are you saying that you can't remember well because it was 6 years ago? I can remember it as clearly as if it happened yesterday.
Well, your memory's great after all. You remember the kind of things Battler did and said back then pretty clearly, don't you?
Come to think of it, that's right. Shannon's memory can be incredible when you'd least expect it.
Ooh! I'm horrible at remembering. I remember fun things, but can't remember boring things at all.
Me too.
Ooh!
We all laughed, saying that everyone was like that.
Shannon, by the way, what was Battler like 6 years ago? Remember any interesting episodes? Like episode 1?
Let's see. I'm sure that he said something like this when he left. I'll be back. See you again. I'll surely come for you riding a white horse.
See you again would be in English.
Ah, true.
That's what the brackets is for.
Stop it! So embarrassing! Sounds like something you'd say. Yeah, I remember you. Always used to be full of those stupid lines, Battler.
It really does sound like something Battler would have said back then.
Ooh! Embarrassing? Is that embarrassing?
Yeah, horribly embarrassing. Maria, I'm sure that when you're in middle school, you'll want to say embarrassing stuff like that. When that happens, make sure you write it down and read it 3 times before saying it out loud. If you don't, you'll definitely regret it. I can relate. Still, everyone, I'm guessing George, still, everyone has to pass through that pitiful period. That's right, that's how you learn your place, learn shame and become an adult. Yeah, it's one of those bittersweet things everyone does in adolescence as they transition into becoming adults. A memory you just want to forget. Oh, okay, that was definitely Battler. After all, this was all stuff I'd let slip out, without thinking, so I didn't remember the words exactly. But now that those words were being recited to me, they were as embarrassing as all hell. I only recently came to understand this weakness, and was working hard to avoid such careless outbursts, but I guess I was just born with that habit of speaking without thinking, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Ooh, got it.
Shannon, do you remember any other embarrassing stuff?
Yes, well, I remember a few other things, but since it looks like the person in question wants to forget them, I think I'll refrain from saying any more.
To be brutally honest, I don't remember this at all. Please don't make me remember.
Ooh! Shannon's bullying Battler? You can't. You shouldn't bully people.
That's George.
Yeah.
She isn't really bullying him. Let's leave it at that, okay? But Shannon, you'll have to tell me all about it sometime Battler isn't around. It sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, certainly. George!
No, you can't! Shannon-chan! For a while, George and Nikki laughed at me, as though warming up for when Shannon-chan would tell him about more of my embarrassing misspeaks. George looked like he was flirting with Shannon, but he seemed somewhat open and frank about it. He was always that way with his cousins, but he usually took on a reserved, gentlemanly attitude when he came into contact with the servants. When I thought about it, I got the feeling he was being a bit overly friendly, which seemed strange. Maria started scribbling in the sand with a stick, and George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan joined in. This left me and Jessica off to the side, so I asked her secretly. Hey, Jessica, is George Aniki, going out with Shannon-chan? Oh, what the, how'd you guess? Battler, you've got a keener eye for people than I thought. Huh, what? I was just kidding, but they're actually going out? Shh! Your voice is too loud. It looks like they're keeping it secret for now, okay? It'd be better if nobody found out about it, especially Aunt Ava. I see. Love with a servant, huh? Yeah, but since when? Whew, I guess a lot can happen in 6 years. But yeah, Aniki's an amazing person, and Shannon-chan seems to be kind and brave, so they might make a pretty good match. Actually, 6 years ago, I remember taking notice of her just a little bit. I see. She really fits well with George Aniki. Nothing I can do about that. Goodbye to my fleeting first love of 6 years ago. Which means that the collection of embarrassing lines Shannon-chan had just held back on probably had something to do with that. I can't take it. How long have they been going out? That depends on what you call going out, but I think it's been at least a year. But if you count the time they both had one-sided feelings, it'd probably be several years. Before I'd realized it, the two of them had separated themselves from the group and were walking down the beach, talking about something. They looked calm, and rather than a light relationship between two lovers, it looked like a more serious one, as though they were already engaged. 6 years ago, huh? That's a long time. What did those 6 years mean to me? I've just gotten taller. It was just a waste of time 6 years I spent obstinately fighting with my dad. What about you, Bella? You got a girlfriend? I wonder. There's a few girls that I have fun with, but there's no only one. I guess I'm just a kid. I think it's more fun to be noisy with a large group of people than being alone with one person. That's so you, Bella. But take your relationships with your female friends seriously. When girls get the wrong impressions, or form a group, it can be scary, you know? They might be having secret feuds over you behind your back, with people getting hurt or crying. That's so weird. I think I remember getting the same bit of advice from one of the girls in my class just last week. What's this all about? Why can't everyone just have fun together? Do people really want to couple up that much? It's probably because you've never found a partner like that, Butler. Well, you might run into someone sooner or later. You've just got to wait patiently. What? It almost sounds like you've already found a partner like that. What about you? Have you gotten a boyfriend? Huh? Me? No, Come on, that reaction's so easy to understand. From the looks of it, there's some boy you're thinking about, but you haven't been able to confess to him yet. Something like that. No, that's not a... shut up, who cares about that? If you're the one who brought up this subject, why are you yelling at me now? Women are creatures who always ask questions, and yet almost never answer them. Well, that's kind of true. What cruel creatures, seriously. Well, I did try to confess once. Well, I struck out pretty badly. Did you get an I am sorry? No, my feelings were seriously one-sided and they didn't really know how to respond, I guess. It was like they didn't even view me that way at all. Well, I can understand that. You talk like a man, after all. If you don't act a bit more graceful, you won't be able to catch a boy's interest. Is it really... Is the way I speak really that bad? Well, how you talk isn't everything. But when people like you, who usually have a rough style of speech, suddenly start working hard to talk more normally, well, there are guys out there whose hearts will skip a beat when they see how determined you are. Is that really true? I see, yeah. Jessica suddenly started talking more meekly, and then her face instantly went slightly red. I see. Even though her confession didn't go well, it looks like she still hasn't given up. But still, I get it. After seeing how close George Aniki and Shannon-chan have gotten, I also kind of want to find a girlfriend. 6 years. 6 years of puberty are pretty important, and they went by pretty fast. As the typhoon approached, the clouds grew steadily greyer, but even so, I had this really refreshing feeling. Maybe I'll try thinking more seriously about the opposite sex, more than just the size of their boobs. By the way, it looks like George Aniki's going out with a servant. Don't tell me it's the same for you. Ha! What?
Why do you think that? Come to think of it, that kid Kanekun who greeted us in the rose garden. You were covering for him pretty intensely, considering he was just a little awkward at talking. No, that's not... Now you're getting paranoid. Then tell me just one thing right now. Is the boy you're after within 1 kilometer of this spot? Well, about that, I wonder. Kanekun was the only boy on this island now who could possibly become her boyfriend. So judging by her reaction, I was right on. I didn't think of the Yoshiromiya family as a noble family, but love with a servant. I wouldn't have dreamed that 2 pairs of Romeo and Juliet would be right next to me. Aunt Ava would probably become an obstacle to George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan's love. If Aunt Ava ever learned that Shannon-chan was the partner of her only beloved son, she'd probably scream at her for trying to steal away her precious George. And a relationship between Jessica and Kanekun would probably just be as full of difficulties. Aunt Nazuki was also very strict about that kind of thing. After all, Jessica's husband would probably have become the head of the Yoshiromiya family in the future. If that person had once been a servant working for the family, well, things would get complicated. Well, love is different for every person. As long as you're with someone who's fun to be around, does anything else matter? When 2 people pair up, they don't need anyone's permission, as long as they accept each other. Worrying about what your parents or family will say means you've already lost. Don't forget that. You better not go out with someone with mixed feelings. Tch. I can't believe you're saying something so philosophical sounding when you haven't even been in love. Don't treat love like a matter of profit and loss. It's about heart. That's all I have to say. Well then, see you again. Have a nice day. George, Nissan, Shannon, listen. This guy, he said another one of those lines. I didn't say anything. Don't make fun of me.
Ooh, I heard it. See you again.
For a while, we forgot that the wind was getting stronger and played around on the beach. I grew a lot in these past 6 years. Being able to celebrate my youth and meet with all of my cousins was truly refreshing. It was a bit late now, but I realized that I should have gotten back together with everyone a lot sooner and returned to the Yoshiromiya family. It sure is nice to have all the cousins together every once in a while.
Ooh, I like it too. It's really fun when all the cousins get together.
That's right. We're already old enough. It's not like we couldn't meet each other when our parents aren't around. It might not be a bad idea to gather the cousins together and play every once in a while. That's a good plan. Maybe we should set up something like that the next time we get a chance. Yeah, I agree. I hope we cousins can stay friends forever. Hey, if you make such a big deal out of it, you almost make it sound like relatives usually end up something.
Hating each other.
George, Aniki, and Jessica laughed, but it felt just a little strained. Did I say something wrong? Judging by how our parents had made quiet expressions and tired faces every once in a while during the boat ride and at the airport, maybe I should have kept that to myself. You're right. It's just like Jessica said. Let's always be friends to each other.
Ooh, me too. We're all friends.
That's right. Yeah. We'll always be together. We'll always be friends. Man, we've been saying some pretty embarrassing stuff, you're telling me. I feel kind of awkward.
But I think it's very important. People are creatures who find it very hard to stay together, much less remain friends, unless they truly desire it.
That's right. You really can't take everyone being friendly for granted.
Ooh, I wish I never said it. Happiness won't be granted unless everyone believes in it.
That's true. Maybe some magic exists in the power of belief. If we all believe in that, I'm sure it will bring us happiness. Alright,
Well, if we're doing embarrassing stuff already, let's all swear to believe in this together, okay? That we'll always be friendly. That we'll always be happy. Like how we'll end up like our parents. As if we'd ever search for each other's weaknesses, going after grandfather's fortune. Okay. We'll always be friendly and happy. Let's all believe in that. No matter how much we cousins tried to nostalgically have fun, dark clouds continued to approach Rikkenjima. I wonder if the typhoon will pass and let us see the clear skies before we leave this island. Who cares about what our parents are planning? Who cares about the inheritance and the honor of our old family? As youthful as we are, we were renewing our old friendship, and we all believed together that we could find happiness. That's why I want this pair of days to end without anything weird happening, in peace and happiness and calmly. No, I don't just want them to end. Please, let them end.
Let them end. Yeah.
Damn it! Don't show up! Don't appear! Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've finally prepared a new game. Come, let us begin this tale of tragedy. Come to me, winds, rain, typhoon. Cut this island off from the real world. Throw Rikkenjima into another realm, into the spirit world, into a world of fantasy.
And so, the tale repeated for the third time. However, to an endless witch, what did it matter, whether it was the first, second, or third time? It probably didn't matter at all. After all, this was a tale of fantasy, endlessly repeating until the match was settled. Would Battler surrender first, or would the witch? Then the sky grew dark and cloudy. The rain and wind were summoned together and became a typhoon. Maria could be seen in the rose garden, paying no mind to the rain that had started falling, going around in circles, searching for that single rose that should have been marked. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Not here. Not here. My rose that we marked isn't here.
Maria definitely remembered it. That rose had been in the flower bed right there. And yet, it wasn't here anymore. She didn't know what to do with her irritation at not being able to find something that should have been there. And moaning bitterly, she couldn't help but keep going back and forth in circles around the same spot. She was acting almost as though she'd be able to see it if she looked at a different angle. But even though she did that, there was no way to find something that wasn't there. The wind grew increasingly strong, and the rain turned into cold, large drops. There was no way even Maria would fail to notice this. However, if she couldn't find her rose here, it would surely disappear forever. Maria believed that. That feeling spurred her on to keep searching for a rose that she had no chance of finding. Just then, the cold drops of rain tormenting Maria were suddenly blocked. Maria raised her head. When she did, she saw an umbrella there, protecting her from the rain. And the one holding out that umbrella was the witch she admired, Beatrice.
Beatrice!
What are you doing so frantically in the middle of all this rain? You could catch a cold like this. Even witches have to care for their own health.
I can't find my rose. No matter how many times I search, even though it should have been here, I can't find it.
Maria told Beatrice about how there had been a slightly unhealthy, pitiful rose, and that she was sure they had marked it.
Oh, so you can't find it. If you are a witch's apprentice, you should use magic to search for the rose. I believe that searching with just your eyes won't be nearly enough.
Oh, I can't find it. I did my best and tried to search with magic, but I can't find it.
I think practicing your magic is a very good thing, but it might be a little too much for you with all this wind and rain. Allow me to lend you some special power. Concern for one's disciples is also one of a teacher's duties.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Maria's face, which had been full of sadness until just now, split open into a grin. Maria knew. She knew that there was nothing Beatrice's magic couldn't do. So she was sure that Beatrice would be able to find the rose easily, even though Maria couldn't. Beatrice closed her eyes lightly, acting as though she was listening for something in all this wind and rain. Then she heard it, opened her eyes and spoke.
All things in this world are transitory. Too bad, Maria. It seems your rose couldn't withstand all of this wind and rain.
Oh, then my rose?
It was uprooted by the wind and is no longer of this world.
What Beatrice had said was quite reasonable. There was nothing odd about the flower being broken off at the stem in this strong wind. However, Maria couldn't accept this and bitterly gave a low-pitched moan.
No.
Who?
No. It's my rose. My rose won't come back, no. I'll bring it back to life with my magic. Beatrice, teach me how to revive a rose with magic.
Ha! It's much too early for an apprentice like you to learn the hidden art of endless magic.
Hidden fart.
I said fact. Know your place.
Maria wiped the tears from her eyes, full of regret. Beatrice shrugged her shoulders and chuckled at Maria's pitiable expression.
Very well. I will lend you my power, the hidden art that can revive a rose.
Really?
Indeed. Well then, concentrate the power of your heart. Close your eyes, forget the rain, forget the wind, and search for the soul of the wandering rose with the eyes
So,
of
the heart.
magic.
I think she said eyes of your heart.
Ew.
Maria closed her eyes. Then she repeated Beatrice's song-like words. Just say it in Beatrice.
Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have?
Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have?
Don't look, don't listen, and believe. Release the power of your soul from the cage of flesh that imprisons it. That's it. Good.
Around Maria, who was concentrating her power, her eyes tightly shut, small golden butterflies began to dance. Was this the manifestation of the magical power Maria held?
Lost soul of the rose, gather into one and remember your form. Come, gather, remember.
The glitter of the gold butterflies began to strengthen, and their numbers increased. Then Beatrice raised a finger up to the skies, and they began to gather at the tip of that finger. This was the miracle of the golden magic. The gold butterflies began to condense into a single dazzling grain of gold. It was a single glittering gold seed. It rode on the tip of Beatrice's finger, budded into a golden sprout, and opened into a golden leaf. It then slowly fell from that fingertip, sank into the mud of the flower bed, and began to grow steadily, into a blue rose.
No, the torture.
Maria, who had admired magic and the witch, really wanted to see this fantastical sight. However, as an apprentice, Maria was still not qualified to see it. No. She was probably afraid that if she opened her eyes to look, the power that she had concentrated in her heart would be cut off, and the magic would be lost. Therefore, Beatrice, as the only one permitted to witness this golden miracle, was the only witch, the sole master of many miracles. Then the fully grown rose bloomed, creating one golden flower. And when Beatrice poked it with her finger, in just the right way, the gold-coloured sparkles scattered, just as if a golden soap bubble had popped, and what remained was a single beautiful rose.
It looks like you've remembered a splendid rose. However, if we just leave it mixed in with these other roses, you won't be able to tell it apart. Shall I perform one last service?
Beatrice, for the sake of her cute apprentice, who was moaning even more now in concentration, decided to use one more bit of magic. When she snapped her fingers, a single gold butterfly appeared, fluttered around and landed on the flower that had just been revived. Then it suddenly burst open and disappeared, becoming golden lace and marking the rose.
That will do. Maria, you may open your eyes now.
Ooh? Where's the rose? It's not here. Not here.
Not over there, over here. Look. I've marked it with golden lace.
Wow, you did! Awesome, 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 awesome! Thank you, Beato. Thank you, Beato. I want to become a witch quickly. A great witch like you.
And you can. Long ago, I too wished for that innocently, just as you do, and I have attained that level.
Maria was ecstatic over the revived rose, clapping her hands and jumping around in joy. Watching that, Beatrice also smiled, looking fairly pleased. By now,
By now, I can break and repair any soul if I try, not just that of a rose, and kill and revive as I please. Come, the barrier of the storm has now sealed Rekenjima off from the natural world. Now is the time for the Golden Witch, Beatrice, to descend as an endless witch.
Beatrice pulled from her pocket an envelope with the family crest, the one-winged eagle, and gave it to Maria. Maria frolicked around at being selected to be the witch's messenger.
So, Kinzo, I've come to join in on your fun once more. My preparations are already complete. What of you? Have you prepared enough coins to bet in tonight's game?
Kinzo.
Of course. I'm fully prepared, Beatrice. Beatrice.
That's how he says it.
I've assembled a plethora of pieces. I'm ready, both physically and mentally. So then, let us make the ante. All that you have given should be returned to you in the end. Come, take it.
Kinzo flung the window of his study open wide, took off the valuable golden ring that had been on his finger, and threw it into the darkness of the raging wind and rain. That ring was struck by lightning, and after twinkling gold for an instant, disappeared. Kinzo watched it go, grinning broadly and fearlessly.
I don't think I'll lose. You are mine. Forever.
It's just an angry old man.
I've forgotten how to do it.
I forgot halfway how to do Maria's voice. It started sounding like...
That beach scene, I was just drearing on my normal voice. I was just like, ah, God. It's hard.
Do you want me to do the narration for a little while?
Oh, that's fine. Narration's fine. The ring that Kinzo had thrown became a single gold butterfly and fluttered around in the wind and rain. It headed for the rose garden, almost as though it was being guided there. It then found the figure of the golden witch and fluttered down. I think it's better for you to do the narration, but because I think you'll be speaking a lot in this episode, I'll do it.
Okay.
When it came down right in front of Beatrice, it burst open and returned to its original form, flying through the air. The way it was going, you would have expected it to fall into a puddle, but it stopped suddenly in midair, almost as if some transparent person had caught it. Apparently even Beatrice hadn't expected this. However, she realized who it was, and grinned broadly at it. I didn't think he'd come in this episode. As she did, the shadow of the person who had caught the ring began to fuzzily appear. It was the figure of a young man wearing a butler's uniform, embroidered with the one-winged eagle crest. There was no man like this among the servants of the Ushiromio family. Even so, Beatrice laughed as though it was someone she remembered fondly.
Ronove, is it? It's been quite some time. It seems you have remembered me. You were always a man who took loyalty seriously.
It has been... Oh man, how do I do his voice? How do you reckon?
Is
He's
he the goat dog man?
No, he's a servant of Beatrice, but he's like a kind of mischievous prankster kind of...
Okay.
What do you reckon?
You know the personality. I've just met him.
Yeah, I know the personality, and I have an idea of the voice. I don't know if I can pull it off.
Let's face it, none of our voices are sticking
Fair
anyway.
enough, fair enough.
It has been quite some time since your last correspondence. Not for a single day have I, Ronove, forgotten that I serve you, my lady. I was more afraid that you had forgotten about me. After all, you can only be quite forgetful.
I see, yes, I certainly am forgetful. I'd forgotten even your sarcasm until I heard it again.
Milady, take this.
With an exaggerated yet elegant gesture, he bowed respectfully, and held out to Beatrice the head's ring that he'd just caught.
It is the Ushiromia family's head's ring, returned to you from Ushiromia Kinzo. It is now once again in the possession of its master.
Indeed. This is Kinzo announcing the start of the game. Of course I'll accept it.
So, how shall we play tonight? Shall I prepare the roulette immediately? Or shall I prepare some black tea first?
I can't decide which, but first I need you to greet someone. I'm sure that guy has got his mouth hanging open and can't shut it. Right, Butler?
Greetings. Allow me to introduce myself. I am called Ronove, and I serve at the side of Milady Beatrice. It is truly a pleasure to meet you.
See? His mouth's hanging open and he can't shut it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no crap. Another incomprehensible guy just showed up. First I grumble about goat-headed people doing the Bond dance, and then the goat-head starts showing up in swarms. And since then, not only have those 7 Nair sons appeared, but now there's even a butler. It doesn't make sense. Cut it out.
By the way, Butler, did you notice? Did you realize that meeting him is a true devil's proof?
A devil's proof? What do you mean?
He may not look like it, but this guy is one of the 72, a genuine demon. In other words, I've brought a demon right in front of you, which truly proves that they exist. Ronove holds a noble rank in hell, the 27th highest ranked great demon. He's a pretty useful man. I summoned him at a high cost and made him serve me.
It is an honor to meet you. While my name is amongst those of the nobles of hell, I now serve as a head furniture of Beatrice Summer, who, despite being a vulgar woman, is a great witch of such caliber that demons flee before her.
He's a very useful man, but he's impudent with his words. Frustratingly enough, he sometimes forgets to respect his master.
Nothing in my contract specifies the manner in which I am to speak. Would you like to change that contract?
It keeps me entertained, so it's fine.
Beatrice turned her back to him, cackling. After bowing once to her back, Ronave turned back to Battler and stuck out his right hand, showing off an innocent smile. Normally this would mean that he was asking for a handshake. What is this supposed to be?
I am another woman.
Okay, I am another who has been subjected to Milady's whims.
In that sense, I am sure we could become good friends. This is a handshake of friendship. Of course, this in no way implies that your entry into a contract with a demon. So fear not.
It's a trick.
Sorry, but I'm right in the middle of a big fight with your master. Master. I only shake hands with an enemy after we've beaten each other up in a rainy schoolyard and are all worn out. Like something you'd see in a teen drama. Remember that? Oh, I think that would be like a remember that kind of...
I see. To shake hands with you, Battle Summer, I must create a fitting atmosphere in a suitable location. Exchanging sweet words and physical language with you that rings true to your heart. When the opportunity arrives, I shall arrange for such an encounter. I must say, I simply love situations like that to myself.
What is that laugh?
I think it'd be like a technically, but they pronounce the coo, the puk. As Ronave laughed tauntingly, he whispered to Battler, bringing his face so close that their noses were almost touching. Battler, his face turning red after getting so close to another of the same sex, pushed him away. You're a creepy bastard. I see. Just right for Beato's butler.
It is an honor to receive such words of praise. I'm very confident in my tea brewing abilities, so please look forward to tea time. Baking cookies is one of my hobbies, so please feel free to request any snacks you may desire.
Just what I'd expect from a pair of the same gender. You've started getting along well right off the bat. I'm jealous.
My. I apologize for making you jealous, milady. I shall not sneakily snatch your guest away from you. Well then, I will leave for now, to retake my post as head furniture and greet my subordinates. Please forgive my short absence.
Indeed, only the common goats and the 7 sisters used for the ceremony have manifested themselves. You'll be able to finish greeting them in no time.
Oh, those lively 7 sisters are here. I wonder if those naughty girls have grown a little more graceful.
If that's graceful, I'll have to doubt the definition of the word graceful.
Is that so? Then I suppose you've already had the opportunity to play with those sisters. Judging by your expression, it would seem they're just as naughty as always, even though I'm always telling them to act more fitting as servants of Beatrice Summer. What troublesome kids.
If that's your problem, then don't worry. They actually act perfectly fitting for their master. Why do I keep saying master?
Master! Shouldn't we take a pause? Now, even you have begun to say it. However, a conversation means that you accept your partner. The fact that you've started to respond to my idle chatting proves that you are gradually starting to accept my existence.
Heh. That's because even if the sun starts rising from the west, I will definitely, absolutely never accept that you're a witch. You might want to try a more positive approach, like crying and kissing my shoes. Even if Battler was bluffing, he still spoke forcefully. I feel his expression on his face. And we're back. Sorry for the pause. Where were we up to?
The next line.
Even if Battler was bluffing, he still spoke forcefully. I feel his expression on his face. Right, I need to re-click this. The witch and her butler snickered together, realizing that their guest had regained more than enough of his willpower to attend to a new game, and that preparations were complete. After Ronave exchanged a few words with Beatrice, he bowed silently to Battler, scattered into several gold butterflies, and disappeared.
It is truly pleasing to have such a boisterous atmosphere. How boring were the days when I was trapped alone on this island, unable to regain my power and lacking anyone to talk to.
I get how that unpleasant guy is really fitting as your butler. But tell me, why has that butler only appeared now? You said something about how only the goats and the Nair-chans of the 7 stakes had manifested themselves. What did that mean?
Indeed. You still resist, but I am a fully fledged witch, and I am in contact with several non-human entities in the spirit world.
I'll bet. No sane people would hang out with you. First some goat monsters, then those Nair-chans, and then this time a demon butler showed up. I hate to think about it, but the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if even more weird people appeared.
Among the furniture that work at my great golden mansion, how many demons do you think want to come over and play? They will keep coming. Many of them will appear. When the door to the Golden Land is open, I will call back all of my furniture and build my new castle here in Rekenjima. Then I plan to invite all of my old friends, and we will drink and dance together for 3 days and 3 nights. Of course, I also plan to invite Kinzo's family, you see? You too, if you wish.
So, is this what you mean? That since you lost your power for a long time, you couldn't summon them? And then, since your magic power has been gradually increasing, you've become able to summon more and more monsters?
It is as you say, you stopped a hair's breadth before crumbling. But your heart is already wavering, and you are unable to deny that I am a witch. That wavering in your heart has slowly been restoring my power as a witch.
So, are you trying to say that creepy butler appeared because I started to surrender?
That's right. Bit by bit you were surrendering to me. Isn't all that humiliation you suffered in the last game a result of you submitting to me so deeply? Wasn't it great when you had to sacrifice your back for the sake of my feet?
Damn it! I thought I'd be able to keep up with things as they were as long as I didn't accept you, but it looks like that was wrong.
Correct. The closer you get to surrendering, the more the game will swing in my favor. Isn't chess the same? In the process of cornering each other's kings, we trade several pieces. Of course, I still haven't cornered your king. And furthermore, you're giving it everything you've got just to help your king escape, and have lost several pieces to me, as well as a large advantage. It is only natural that further developments will tend to turn in my favor.
Damn!
From now on, you will probably be frantic as you try to avoid my checkmate. However, as you do, I will steal your pieces from you one by one. In the end, you'll have lost everything but your king, and you won't be able to escape no matter how much you try. Then you will receive a true checkmate. You were talking big last time, weren't you? Something about how you'd never accept me and would torment me with eternal torture. Only witches who have reached at the endless level can talk about eternity. That's been beyond you ever since the very beginning.
I'm gonna have to start counting those to make sure you get every single
Oh my
one.
goodness.
It gets pretty intense in the later episodes. Still going. That's you.
Is it Beatrice still?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Kinzo-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. The rules apply equally to all who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you.
Okay. That's Maria reading the letter.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, tonight I ask that you enjoy your battle of wits with Kinzo-sama to the fullest. I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden.
When Maria finished reading the letter that Beatrice had handed over, everyone was at a loss for words for a while, and then they all broke the silence at once.
Ridiculous! What a worthless, vicious prank!
Seriously, there is no way Father gave up the head's ring. Beatrice? Ha! What a transparent prank, hoping to confuse us just by bringing up that name.
Hey, who filled this dessert up with a little too much punch? I want to applaud and praise you, so come clean, okay? Rosa? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Of course not. I wouldn't pull a prank by assuming Father's name. Then, Aniki? Aniki?
Me? Are you an idiot? It was Nissan, right? Only he could plan something this vulgar.
Are you trying to mock me? I'm the one who wants to question you. Who is behind this ill-natured prank?
Krause beat the table and stared at everyone. Since that included the children too, he scared most of them.
A letter from a mysterious person who claims to have been given full rights to Father's assets. Considering that the whole point of this family conference is the discussion of that subject, I think it's too hasty to call this a mere prank.
I can't remember.
We can't be sure. Maybe it really is one of Father's shady pranks. He might have planned this to shock us a bit, since we've been discussing the distribution of his inheritance without him.
If Dad was the one who planned this, then we can't take what Maria-chan just read out loud as a joke, right?
That's right. If you interpret the contents literally, then this is a test from Father. The epitaph of the witch has been displayed in the hall for quite some time now, so that any one of us could solve it. There was plenty of notice. That means he was saying that the first person to solve it would be handed the inheritance along with all of his wealth, right? See? My magic granted your wish.
Who's that?
It's little mini Ava.
Minnie.
Nothing so foolish could possibly be the case. It is an unshakable fact that my husband is the successor to the Ushiromiya family headship. Well, doesn't this letter shake that? This is a message from the person who was given full rights to all of Father's wealth. Nii-san's right to become the head has returned to a blank slate. The person who solves the riddle, the person who finds Beatrice's gold, will become the next head of the Ushiromiya family.
Ridiculous. Do you think we can trust the meaningless words in that letter? That the seal was the real thing? There's no way we could trust that.
Then let's try to go and ask Father directly. At this point, you can't get away with saying he's grumpy or feeling bad, right? The sealed wax clearly shows that this was from Father's representative. If you doubt that, then show some proof, Ni-san. Show that this letter does not contain Father's will.
Very well. It is just as you say. It no longer matters whether Father's in a good mood or not. Let us go up and ask him directly. Let's do it.
We'll ask Dad directly. Dad is Dad, so why would he act in such a roundabout way? Then again, I guess that would be like him. I wonder if we really should continue this discussion on the assumption that this letter came from Father.
Stupid Rosa! Isn't it obviously from Father? That letter is Father's. Isn't it obvious that he's giving the four of us an even chance to become the successor? Die, you brainless idiot!
Rude. Rosa, oh, that's you.
Rosa really is dumb. If only she'd just give up and die.
I'm sorry. That's right. I'm sorry.
In the beginning, the adults had all doubted the credibility of the letter, but after realizing that this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance in the inheritance struggle for the three younger siblings, Ava changed her position, claiming that the letter was authentic. Rudolph and Rosa caught on and agreed.
Outrageous! How can adults like you take such a worthless prank this seriously? I don't need to be Father to understand his contempt.
Whoa. Natsuhi-san. All we've got to do is ask Father and we're done, right? Won't everything be fine if Father just tells us that he doesn't know anything about this letter?
Ni-san, take responsibility and just get him to say that he doesn't know about the letter. This is no time to get scared just because he's in a bad mood, okay? He's still scared of Father at his age, that idiot. If only he'd just give up and die.
Yeah. Let's get this settled, clearly. He's probably eating in his study right now. Let's have him set down his chopsticks for just a moment. It's decided. Let's go. Kirie, wait here for a while. We'll go check whether it's true or not and come back quickly.
Thank you. I'll wait patiently for Godo-san to bring in dessert.
The four siblings, Natsuhi and Hideyoshi, all rose from their seats forcibly and flew out into the hallway with a clatter. Afterwards, only the children, stunned completely speechless, Nanjo, who looked uncomfortable, and Kirie, who just shrugged, were left. In the middle of all this was Maria, who looked a little scared at the adult's sudden rage. However, judging from her appearance, she didn't look like she realized the full meaning of what she'd just read.
What in the world was all that about? I don't get it. They're all bastards. Do they really want the inheritance that much?
Everyone, this is our parents' problem. It has nothing to do with us. So you mustn't worry about it.
Even if you say that, they were so blatant about it.
I can't believe them. Showing off their greed like that.
Everyone has to believe together that we'll be happy. Oh.
That's right. We all did promise. Come on, Battler-kun, Jessica-chan, you too. I feel horrible. I don't know who was saying what. We couldn't accept it at all, but we laid down our arms, for the time being. We'd been vaguely aware of how filthy this family conference was going to be. However, after that 6-year blank, I couldn't help being shocked. When he saw that the children were completely dejected, Dr. Nanjo cleared his throat uncomfortably.
It's an adult matter. It has nothing to do with all you young people. Let us forget about it.
I would if I could.
I know it's hard, but forget it for now. All of your parents are fighting frantically to make your futures just a little brighter. Please don't look at your injured parents with those cold eyes when they come back.
No matter how much you ask us, Kirie-san, that'll be too tough. If we could be happy with an explanation like that, we wouldn't be kids.
Oh. Everyone, be happy. Can't get dark. Believe. If everyone doesn't believe we can be happy, then happiness will get away. Everyone has to believe. Ooh.
I like the sound of that. I'll believe too. I'll believe we can find happiness.
Ooh, Aunt Kirie, thank you. Battler and Jessica, you believe too. Beatrice is always saying that magic won't have any power if you don't believe. Ooh.
Kirie-san rose from her seat quietly, went over to Maria and crouched down so that their eyes met.
Ooh. Aunt Kirie believed. Now Battler and Jessica have to believe.
Those two are strong. They'll feel better soon and then they'll believe.
Yeah.
More importantly, I want you to tell me something.
When Kirie-san said that, Jessica, George Aniki, Dr. Nanjo and I all listened closely. It looked like our parents were so concerned with the inheritance problem that grandfather filled their minds. But we wanted to ask Maria about something simpler.
What?
Who gave you that letter?
Beatrice.
The witch drawn in that portrait?
Ooh, she gave me this letter and an umbrella. And she used magic to fix my rose that was broken. Beatrice is awesome witch who can do anything.
Could you tell us a bit more about that in more detail?
That was a long jump.
We made it.
I feel like we started off the first episode like kind of timid, ended it pretty like extravagant, started the second episode extravagant, and then ended it just drained because it's 2 a.m. We started at like 11 p.m. and we were doing alright once we got into it, and now it's just like, oh, so tired.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that will be the end of this one, I think. So, catch you next time.